Good morning, guys. Hi, and welcome to this beautiful, I think it's Thursday day, maybe Friday. I don't know. I was distracted for the day. Sorry it's taking me so long to do another video, but I did get struck with that lovely head cold that is going around Texas right now. So I lost my voice, and I still may crackle a little bit, but my voice is somewhat pretty good today, so I figured I'd do an introduction video about me and who I am and my business and how I got started and everything like that. But first, I do want to show you this awesome place I found. This is actually by, I love the birds flying. This is actually by one of the bike trails down more towards the south end of Austin. That is the Colorado River behind me. And it's not very sunny out, so I figured this would be a good time to come down here and do a video too, because there's not many runners and walkers and bikers and stuff like that, because this bike trail does get pretty busy. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start with my birth name is Nikki. Sometimes my witch's name that I go by is Onyx, but lately, I don't know, I just kind of like Nikki. In my Austin Witches circle here, everybody kind of knows me as Middbelboro, because that's my Facebook name. I'm 44 years old, and I want to say I've been on my pagan path since about 2006. Originally from Massachusetts. Yes, you will hear my accent, because I will not get rid of it. And I moved down to Austin, Texas. Been here, I guess, in Texas for a little over 5 years. And I can tell you there's a big difference between moving from a place like Massachusetts, where I basically lived 45 minutes away from Salem. So, being a witch there was very open. And then coming down south and realizing, ooh, I may have to go back in the broom closet. Because when I first came here, I went to San Antonio, Texas. And I was there for about a year. And I don't think it's as accepting as it is in Austin. They always say keep Austin weird. And this is actually a better atmosphere and more welcoming for, I think, a pagan community. Even though San Antonio does have a pagan community, and I've met some people there, it's just, I don't know, I don't see them out and about doing things. Not like here. When I moved to Austin, there was a lot more groups doing things and, advertising meetups and get-togethers and circles. And I actually met a few of the people that belong to one of the Wiccan covens here. And then I found the Austin Witches Circle so I could do my business. Oh my God, I think I've been doing my business on and off for at least, I don't know, I'm trying to think of how old my oldest son is. Probably like 20 years. When I was first married, I was trying to figure out how to make extra income because I was a stay-at-home mom. So I decided to do a craft business, and I'm a handmade crafter, and on my Facebook page you can see some of the stuff I made. I don't think I really switched it over until more of a magic thing, until I went through my divorce, and then I kind of learned about my pagan path with my blood sister. We were kind of searching for something that we were, I guess, missing. Well, I can't speak for her, but I will speak for myself. Something that quite didn't fit when I was growing up. So I actually met somebody who was a pagan, but he didn't do ritual and stuff like that. And he kind of introduced me into it. And, excuse me, I kind of went from there. Read books, met people, tried to be part of a coven. It gave me a lot of education, and I'm thankful for that, but it didn't quite feel right for me. I felt like I was still missing a few things, but I think at that point I didn't know enough, and I think I should have studied more to say, okay, yep, this is where I should be. Right now, I'm going to say I'm more solitary than anything, but I do belong to an awesome community here, and that is the Austin Witches Circle. And it actually is a market where all of the local pagan community get together almost every weekend to sell the crafts they make. Or, like for me, I do tarot readings too. So we have readers, and crafters, and it's a place for us to kind of all get together and say, hey, wow, look how big the community is here. So I've been part of that for about 2 years now, and oh my God, I love it. I've met some awesome ladies and men too, and I don't think I could ever see my life without them now. I have 3 kids. I kind of all raised them pagan, but they kind of have their own life and do what they want to do. If they have questions, then I answer it. It wasn't until, I want to say maybe 2010, that I met somebody, another woman who befriended me, and she kind of introduced me, I guess you could say. I think she really threw me into this world that I am in now and what I can do now with all my gifts. She was a really good teacher. She was a good friend for a while. But for me, she didn't explain enough, especially as a newbie. And I'm a type of person that if I get really curious, it's like, okay, curiosity killed the cat. Yep, that's me, because I'm going to get in trouble because I want to know. I want the answers. So I remember we were talking about how, I guess, the place where I was living was very negative, and it wasn't a very positive place to live, because it was in Middleborough, Massachusetts, and a lot of people don't know where that is, but of course everybody knows where Plymouth, Massachusetts is. Hello, Pilgrims. That's the next town over, and there's actually a part of Middleborough that I guess is called the Bermuda Triangle, where there's a lot of supernatural activity and stuff like that. Well, I lived really close by it, and I've always been in tune with energies and stuff like that, so I would feel stuff around, so I could feel that it wasn't very good. And this woman that I met, she was more of the left-handed path, so she liked to kind of do darker things, and she kind of gave me somewhat of my left-handed path education, a lot of it that I learned on my own. And one day she's like, oh, well, that you could help me, close a portal that's in the house you're living at. And I'm like, sure, I'm going to do it. That sounds interesting. Nothing's going to happen. Yeah, that's not what happened. And this is why I always warn people about be careful what you wish for and be careful what you're doing. If you do decide to go a little bit darker and want to find out more about that world, get educated, read a lot, talk to people before you just jump in, because too many people jump in. What she didn't tell me, and which I wish she would have, is when we started doing the ritual, or whatever you want to call it, and the spell, and when it got time for me to physically do everything where I was, because she was in a different state, so she was remote viewing to me and saying, okay, this is what you need to do. As soon as I put my hand on the wall for where this portal, we're calling it portal, was from the woods in the back of the house to inside the house, it was like I was in a dream. I saw all these creatures, I guess you can call them, in the woods, and as soon as I touched the wall, they all turned around and looked at me. Don't freak the crap out of me, because I'm like, oh my God, this is the first time I'm seeing things. I guess with my physical eye, but it's really not my physical eye, it's my third eye. But it was like, okay, she didn't tell me that they're going to be able to see me. Well, yeah, once you see them and you open that door, they see you. So it's very hard to just shut that door unless you're using like a Ouija board or other divination tools or something like that where you can open and close it. This was just like, oh, I'm just going to, yeah, okay. My energy was there. It was too late. They saw me. I saw them. I kind of freaked out. I did what I had to do. But now that I know more now, I left some of my energy there. And that was the bad part, because what they did was they took that energy and connected it to me and would attack me. And I want to say I was maybe attacked in my dreams when I would astral plane for at least a year until I figured out, okay, nope, I gotta figure out, I want to learn this, I want to do that. Found some spirit guides while I was there, got an education while I was there. But it was interesting. So for the first year that I was in that type of world, I learned a lot, and now, I will pass that on to other people, so if you have questions, just ask her. I don't mind sharing, because I'd rather have people understand my experiences and not go through what I went through, because let me tell you, it was hard, and there was certain aspects, I think, of my life that did suffer from it, because I really thought I was crazy. Even though nowadays I think I'm crazy too, but now I know, like, the voices in my head and the things I see and the things I hear or feel are real. I'm not crazy, because I've had other people confirm it. So now that I understand more and have had more education on the spiritual side, I can do a lot more, and then I can help a lot more people. So I'm always learning, and that's the other thing. I'm always learning. No matter how long you've been in a path, you're still learning. You're never going to learn. Like right now, I kind of connected the dots with something else and learning, I guess, about a new deity. And it's kind of interesting. And I'm learning like different aspects of different deities. And wow, you know what? Those are connected. And why are they connected? And this is the other thing that I learned with my education. And I know a lot of people kind of don't see eye to eye on this, and that's okay. I don't expect everybody to believe what I believe, because it's my path only. It's my truth. I actually believe in anything and everything is real. That's something that I'm going by. And people are like, yeah, but how do you know it's not fake? Because if you learn about the law of attraction, the law of attraction teaches you that if you want it enough, you can manifest it. So if you think about it, if 25 million people believe in this one deity and they're pouring their energy into it, it's going to manifest. So guess what? It's real. It may not have been born from the universe or have been there before we were here, but at some point in time, it was created. It was manifested. So that's why I say believe anything and everything is real. Because if you put your whole heart into it and your whole belief in it, you're going to manifest it. We all come from the same source, or we're going to call it the source or energy or whatever you want to call it. We all come from that. And so does everything else. It's just on different levels. That's something else law of attraction will teach you. So I always go by that anything and everything is real. So when I'm talking to somebody and they're like, oh, well, I think this is real. I'm like, yep, you're right. 100%. So when you talk to other people, remember that. Because I think if more people remembered that, they would be more coexisting. And then you could connect the dots to maybe the same aspect that you believe in. It's just like, okay, it's just like a different personality. Because all spirits and deities have personalities just like humans. How we all have good days, we all have bad days. And then some are just I don't even know what to call it. A lot of the stuff that I've learned or I see or I talk about, it's kind of hard to put human words to it because they're not human, so there's no humans to it, human words to go with it. But I've gotten so far that I can remote view, I can hear, I can talk, I can see, I can interact. I work magic with humans, which I call ghosts. Then I'm also connected to what I call the spiritual universal level. And that's where all gods and goddesses are, angels, spirit guides, demons, any of the darker stuff. I'm able to travel to different realms and different levels of universes or alternate universes to go see what's there. And it's actually pretty awesome that I can do that. But again, I had to let my ego go and believe in anything and everything. That way, I could go there and check it out. And I think I've rambled on enough for now. So that's my introduction. I will be making a few videos about other things and kind of things that I think. Excuse me. And then I also will be starting on that dream book that I got and kind of describe what it is and the questions and have a discussion on that. Well, I hope you guys have a good day. Blessed be.